me a lot in my career as a professor to think of some of my students as rude, disrespectful, ill-mannered, arrogant, and troublesome based on their body language and nonverbal signals sending negative and confusing messages about themselves. It happened to me to judge them based on these nonverbal signals and then later on realize I was wrong in my judgment. Of course, if I have the chance to get closer to students and know them better. Now that I'm more experienced, I try not to be influenced by students' body language, how they wave, how they behave, how they avoid or maintain eye contact. The reason is that as an educator, I want to maximize inclusiveness and equal learning opportunities for all to activate students' strengths and expand their potential for success. But this doesn't mean that students shouldn't make an effort to manage their nonverbal communication to build strong and effective interpersonal communication skills. People in general, and students in particular, don't always have time to prove themselves several times till other people can figure out who they really are. And in some situations, we don't have a second chance to make a good impression. So the question is, how can we manage our nonverbal communication? Well, it's through emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is the ability to identify and understand one's emotions in positive ways to relieve stress and anxiety for effective communication. In addition to empathy with others, to diffuse conflict through self-awareness and self-management. Self-awareness is about recognizing one's emotions and how you feel generally. Now, I'm stressed and happy, sad, happy, excited, and you should know that these may or will affect your thoughts and behaviors. Once you're able to recognize these, you can move to the next stage, self-management, where you can control these impulsive feelings, manage your emotions, and behave appropriately. And you can even go a step further when you are able to recognize people's emotions, needs, and concerns, more particularly when you are able to pick up emotional clues and recognize the power dynamics in a group. Only then you will be able to manage your relationships, communicate effectively, work well in a team, inspire, influence, and manage conflict. Now, let me share 3 rude, offending, nonverbal communication signals but to avoid. Don't avoid eye contact, because no matter how you do it, it doesn't serve you. When you talk to the floor, avoiding looking at other people, we easily understand you're shy and not confident enough. When you roll out your eyes, it's a sign of disrespect, causing discomfort and frustration to the person you are talking to. It's also worth mentioning that there are some people who dare to maintain eye contact, not out of self-confidence, but out of disrespect. The second thing you need to avoid is raising your chin above the neutral horizontal level, which is again a sign of disrespect and arrogance. The third signal to avoid is lack of response. I understand some people may not want to respond because of shyness, but this tends to be translated as a sign of disrespect. Just notice how many times I uttered the word disrespect. And so you need to maintain a certain amount of eye contact, smiling and nodding. When you agree, don't agree, appreciate, like something, you need to give clues. By not doing so, you simply leave a poor impression. The last thing I would like to talk about in this video, and which I dislike in my students, is a sitting position with legs wide apart. Well, I'm sorry to say it, but this concerns males particularly, and I just found out it's referred to as manspreading. What a disrespectful sitting position. It just tells much about how lazy, how uncaring you are to this academic platform. More than this sitting position invades personal space. Well, there is more to say about it, but let me just stop here. And remember, serving you is my job, and it's also my great pleasure, so stay tuned.